materials. I'm an artist that's been working with blood for over 25 years as a way to look at themes of regeneration and life cycle, and as well as equality issues, specifically as it relates to LGBTQ health and policy. Specifically, this is part of a larger project called the Blood Mirror Project, which deals with FDA policy on blood donation and the prohibition of most queer men from being able to donate blood. And historically, historically, blood donation has been something that's been considered a patriotic civic duty, and so using a flag was a way to, I think, discuss and get into some of that history. So much. There's an absolute innate energy with blood. When you're standing in front of a work made with blood, you might not immediately know what the material is, but you can absolutely sense it. It has a visceral energy to it that it emits, at least specifically with the works that are made with the blood and the resin, or even the works where the blood is unpreserved on paper. But there's obviously like a symbolic, reference that blood brings up for, I think, all of us. We all have blood running through our bodies, but there is an undoubtable energy to blood. And then in terms of thinking about it as a material that has been used to discriminate against certain groups. In this case, with this particular work, looking at blood donation policy against the LGBT community. Well, the work that I do that's made with animal blood, like you're referencing the work with copper, these works do not have a social or political point of view. Those are more philosophically driven, thinking about life cycle, regeneration, the actual materiality of the work, preservation, much more ideas about universal energy and our inner life forces. The works that are made with queer blood, LGBTQI blood, these are very pointed projects, very specifically dealing with discriminatory policies. And there are lots of different ways in which I've gone about creating works with that kind of blood. Some of the projects are, the blood donors are named. They are, their faces are used in, a previous iteration of the blood equality campaign. There are, they have been interviewed, and the donors themselves are, the faces of the project in addition to their blood. Such as in Blood Flag, I think 9 of the donors are mentioned in the wall label as whose blood it is. And then in other projects, the blood donors remain anonymous. How they are referred to is based on their HIV status or some other characteristic about their life experience or who they might be, but their names are not revealed. And instead, that blood is paired with pop culture ephemera or historical documents to be able to, create new entry points for these policy conversations by bringing familiar narratives to the story. So, for example, pairing a comic book cover of Superman laying lifeless on a gurney from 1971 paired with the blood of a gay man on PrEP. And the combination of the blood along with the comic book image helps to create a new way of discussing the policy. So there's a lot of work that also kind of does that. Everybody is affected by the policy. Whether or not you're impacted in that you can or cannot donate blood, anytime that there is a discriminatory or biased policy that's not following science, it impacts us all. And when there are blood shortages, it impacts us all. And so, we're at a time right now where science isn't really being put front line as our truth. But in a perfect world, if we were looking to maintain health and prosperity for all of our citizens, we would be trusting in science. And if that were the case, then we would also have very different policies about blood donation. That's a big question, Paul. I've been doing this for almost 27 years now. So there's a lot of work that's been created and a lot of series that have been created and a lot of different ideas that have been put out there. So it's hard to sum that up in one sentence or sum it up in like, I would like someone to, I think that there's, overall, I hope that the works can inspire conversation about policy, about equality, about trusting in science, about recognizing that we all have a common humanity, regardless if your blood is useful for blood donation purposes. Everyone's blood is their own life force. That the works oftentimes address HIV stigma. And I think that, although we've made great strides with treatment and prevention, HIV is not over. And, there's still stigma. And these kinds of stigma affect those who live with HIV, but also affect the LGBT community and perpetuate policies that don't live in the world of sound science. So my hope is that these works can raise awareness and also continue to document the time that we're living in and inspire more conversations about these important issues.